Yo, what's going on, guys? And The Athletic released a great article today. Shout out the Athletic NBA staff. Basically, the NBA players with the most to prove in the 2022 to 2023 NBA season. They include Steve Nash as, I believe, the only coach on this list. Before we do this is basically, let me read what they write. There are several reasons players across the NBA might be feeling a little extra pressure to perform in 2022 to 2023, the Athletic NBA staff decided to examine all 30 teams to pinpoint one player or coach with the most to prove on each squad. So let's get right into it. I want to hear what your guys' opinions are, and I believe this is in alphabetical order. So if you want to just skip to your team, just figure out the alphabet. Now let's get right into it. We'll start off with the Atlanta Hawks, DeAndre Hunter, and I'll read what they say, and then I'll give my take, and we'll move on to the next one. Like and subscribe, and let's get right into it. So DeAndre Hunter, the 2019 NBA draft, was expected to form a significant part of the Hawks core with 2 top 10 picks, but it hasn't worked out that way. Cam Reddish was a bust at the 10th overall and traded to the Knicks. DeAndre Hunter was taken with 4th overall after the Hawks moved up 4 spots in a trade with the Pelicans, but he hasn't entirely fulfilled his promise. I will want to say that's wrong. He showed a flash before he got hurt 2 years ago. He generally has been solid defensively, but he has missed 78 games with injuries the last 2 seasons. He's been inconsistent offensively and at times even a liability. Hunter is only 24 years old, so to get him he's only 24 years old. So the Hawks don't want to give up on him, especially given they parted with assets to get him. But he's entering the final year of his rookie contract, and the two sides don't appear close to a deal. Hawks need to see significant progress. Look, if you look back, he was averaging 17 points a game before he hurt his wrist during the year they went on the run. And if he can get back to averaging, I think it was like 17 and 6 with like 2 assists, 3 assists. Okay, he was phenomenal. He just needs to be able to shoot and show that he can be like the 4th option scoring wise. I have faith in DeAndre Hunter. I really think the only reason he hasn't really came around, it's been injuries. It's really been injuries. Okay, he's missed 78 games in the last 2 seasons. Next up, the Boston Celtics, Malcolm Brogdon. It's never easy being the new guy on a team, especially when it's a group that was 2 wins away from winning it all. While the Celtics, Malcolm Brogdon, deal with the Indiana Pacers was widely celebrated as one of the best of the entire offseason, he still has to make good on all this enthusiasm that surrounds him. Add in the fact that the reigning Defensive Player of the Year point guard incumbent Marcus Smart is coming off a career year. It's easy to understand why there will be a fair amount of pressure on 29-year-old Brogdon to elevate this already elite program. Again, Brogdon's been good every time he's played, similar to DeAndre Hunter. It's durability. What's the best ability? Availability. And with that being said, again, if Malcolm Brogdon plays 70-plus games and is fully healthy for the entire playoffs and performs like he has, as he's performed every time he's been healthy, phenomenal, okay? Nothing to be upset about. And I think this is just something that people might just be, I think this one's a little bit of overreaction. I think the one that needs to perform, I guess it is Brogdon. Or like Grant Williams to keep it up for a second year. Let's move on to the next one. Similar, like I said, the first 2 is just injuries. Ben Simmons is returning from back surgery and hasn't played well over a year since his ugly ending in Philly. Can he return to being the franchise cornerstone he was and help keep the new Nets relevant? As for Steve Nash, can he have a team stay healthy for extended time and show what a kind of coach he is? Does he impact winning and show he can develop players? I think the narrative that we can't just blame Kevin Durant for them being swept by the Bucks, and that's a lot on Steve Nash. And I know we can't give Steve Nash the entirety of the blame for the past 3 seasons because of health. So really, it's just Steve Nash. If your team is healthy, can you do it? And does Steve Nash, make a team better as a coach and help a team win? While Ben Simmons, we just need you to go back. This guy's a 2-time all-defensive team member, basically a Defensive Player of the Year candidate yearly, and probably going to win a few by the time he retires, all-star already. Just go back to what you were, a 16, 8-8 guy. And if you learn how to shoot or just become better at offense in terms of scoring because you're phenomenal at doing everything else on offense, then it's great. And just it's that. Those are the two reasons. Gordon Hayward's injuries have destroyed the Hornets. They are a reason why James Borrego is no longer the coach there. A healthy Hayward would have likely vaulted Charlotte into the back end of the playoff bracket in one of the last 2 seasons. He's going to make about $30 million this season. He has to prove he's worth it by showing he can stay on the court. Yeah, he hasn't played more than like 57 games, I think, since joining Charlotte. And in his first season, he looked like he was worth every single penny. Okay? And that's the crazy part about this. And I just realized I am sorry. I thought this was... I'm going to redo this like this. Ooh. So sorry. I thought this was perfectly fine. This looks a bit better now. And for me, when you look at this entire situation, it's a bit interesting due to the fact that it's all health. Is he still healthy? He's just been injury prone for so long. Well, it's the same thing with Lonzo Ball. Both Gordon Hayward and Lonzo, when they've been in there, they've been good. And Lonzo over here, he's appeared in 35 contests only in his first season with the Bulls. That left knee required meniscus surgery, and he's still recovering. It's been slow. His availability is in question for the start of the season. Ball has been available for only 65% of his team's contests through the first 5 seasons. And this team was good defensively, and they were basically elite when Lonzo was healthy. And it's the same thing with Gordon Hayward and Lonzo. Both of these guys are on the hot seat because if they're starting to have the injury label put on them. Gordon Hayward's been injury prone since he broke his ankle. Lonzo Ball's been injury prone since he came into the NBA. Both of these guys need to show that they can stay healthy for 70-plus games. Jetty Osmond, I'm surprised that they put him on here. And right here, deliberate Colin Sexton here because he does have much to prove, not only returning from the meniscus injury, but also if he signs the qualifying offer, he will have a prove-it year in terms of the contract. So I guess the guy, Kelsey Russo, broke this down, and she chose Jetty Osmond. His main priority this season is to show more consistency in his game because he has some great streaks and then he has some like cold streaks every year. And Osmond believed it was his best season so far this past season because he found a role in Cleveland. Yet Osmond was in and out of the rotation in the final half of the season. However, basically he does have one more year on his contract after this season for the 2023 to 2024, but it's not guaranteed, so they could cut him if they don't like him. However, he has to use this year to show that he can contribute steadily and earn minutes and keep his spot on the rotation for the majority of the year. And I agree with that. So I get Colin Sexton would be the easy answer, but it'll be or a prove-it deal. So let's find somebody who actually does. And yeah. Now the Dallas Mavericks have Christian Wood. Do I believe? I agree. Tim Cato's right. The Mavericks aren't going to regress, but if they're basically going to be about the same they were last year, but they could be way better if the journeyman center, Christian Wood. He's not even a journeyman, but I guess he is. If he can be positive defensively while averaging 18 and 10, being a spot-up shooter, a lob threat, and a pick-and-roll guy, or a pick-and-pop guy for Doncic to play off of, it's going to be great. It's just that with Doncic, who, is good, and Spencer Dinwiddie being around there, I think Wood is a guy who just needs to show that he can be consistently good and a guy who can raise the ceiling for a team. That's what they need to show. Michael Porter Jr. is in the same boat as Lonzo and Gordon Hayward. Porter missed his entire rookie year. Then we saw that amazing season where he was the best shooter in the league, not named Kevin Durant, which led to him signing that 5-year, $172 million contract. Then he played 9 games. And he looked terrible, had a third back surgery. And he supposedly was cleared before Jamal Murray was and was able to come back next season. But they said, even though you're cleared and you could play next season, and he could have played in the playoffs, they were like, now we're going to save you for this season. And offensively, he's good. He just had his back was messing him up, so ignore the stats for this past season. The questions are defensively, can he become better? But the main question is, can he stay healthy? If he stays healthy and shows good on defense, everything's good, okay. Kelly Hayes, baby. This guy's already sent to the bench. Jaden Ivey starting. He's been injured multiple times, inconsistent, but, he made some strides, all right? And now his three-point shooting and his finishing at the rim have been progressing a little bit slower. But if he can show that he can be a floor spacer or a threat scoring the ball, similar to Markelle Fultz, then he could be a good, sixth man for them. With Kate Cunningham and Jaden Ivey being, the top 2 picks in the last 2 drafts, they're probably going to push those 2 as the starter. And Hayes has a club option for over $7 million next off season. So will be the similar offensive guy we've seen, or will this develop into something where Hayes can be like a Drew Holiday? Obviously, James Wiseman for the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors, he was the 2nd overall pick, and we were expecting him to be like Evan Mobley. He's been hurt. He was, pretty decent when he played his rookie season. He's 21. He still has some elite, unteachable size and raw tools. He's going to enter the season as a backup center for a defending champion team, and it's going to be a low-pressure spot behind Kevin Looney. But, he's owed $21.7 million over the next 2 years for a franchise that is trying to escape an exorbitant tax bill. Yet, if it pops, he's the center of the future, and his early career sits in a 3rd season stall. So we just need to see some progress so he's worth it. Now, the Rockets, Kevin Porter Jr., it makes sense. We just need to see maturity. If he can be the guy that he ended the season, which was basically a 19 points per game score with like 7 assists and 5 rebounds, he's a dog. And just show that he can, that he has some vision, that he can capitalize on the strong play that he finished last season and continue his growth. He's worth it. And give him a contract, 4 years, $100 million. Miles Turner. I guess Miles Turner, if he stays, he just needs to show that he can stay fully healthy, but he's more than just a 3-and-D shot blocker, okay? Because that's kind of what he is. He's a center who can shoot at a decent clip, who blocks shots, but can't really switch on to people. Defensively, I don't see him anymore than a shot blocker, but offensively, can you just become like, a guy scoring-wise more than just a 3-shooter? And I think for the Clippers, it's Kawhi and Paul George, but it's Kawhi in terms that he can stay healthy for a full season. And I just think, also prove that he's still the same guy. Anthony Davis needs to prove that he's healthy and can play at the level that he was during the bubble. Okay? We don't need the bubble shooter Davis. We just need a competent shooting Davis. There's a bunch of guys on this team, like Kelly Tilley, David Roddy, Jake LaRavia, and Santi Aldama, and Jaren Jackson Jr. But I agree with Zaire Williams. He's going to have to take a big role. And look, his rebound rate was 5, and his 31% from 3 was not nice. He's going to get a lot more minutes, especially with Dylan Brooks. They're going to attempt to phase him out, so it'll be interesting. We're going to start running through these. Victor Oladipo, it's just him playing efficiently and staying healthy. We're Gucci. Joe Ingles, he's 35. Can he still show that he can keep up with the NBA players defensively? And will he be able to still be the same player we saw before the injury? D'Lo, dude, this guy averaged 12 points and shot 33% from the field. Was benched for Jordan Mclaughlin. Can he find his offense and play the floor general role we need, which is to feed Towns, Edwards, and Gobert? We don't need you to be Nutshire. Our 4th option, be the point guard we need to be. Zion Williamson, he can score. He can do everything well. All we need him to stay healthy, play good defense, maybe see that 3-point shot hit. Julius Randle, just become the play. Okay, first off, stop being immature and stop, disappearing. Try to be the guy that was a 2nd-team All-NBA. You don't have to just try to be 80% of that. Shea averaged post All-Star break 36 and 7. Okay, and he shot 54% from the field, 39 from 3, and 80 from the shooting splits. Those are all NBA numbers. Okay, and he just needs to play the necessary amount of games and play in some meaningful ones to be an All-Star. Jalen Suggs was awful. He struggled to shoot. He got hurt. His defense was strong for a rookie, but his issues were offensively. We need to see an improved shooter and playmaker who he's either show us that you're a point guard or a shooting guard. I see you as a Drew Holiday, so try to be Drew Holiday. James Harden, just don't be a fat fuck and show up and be in shape. DeAndre Ayton, just show that you have more of an offensive game and show that you can create for yourself instead of relying off of the offensive game and teammates, and be able to play in the 4th quarter. Don't go soft because you're a huge guy. Show that aggressiveness. You don't show it. Anthony Simons took the jump, Okay, 17 points a game, 40%. Now you got to go to 20 points. We need you to be a 22 points per game scorer. You need to be the co-star to Damian Lillard. Fill that CJ McCollum role 100% of the way. Show that you're worth and validate the contract. Darren Fox, dude, you need to get back to that 37% three-point shooter. He's the only member of the 2017 draft class who received a max extension but has never been to an all-star or made the playoffs. So, and you and Sabonis need to coexist. Devin Vassell. Look, Devin Vassell flashed that 3-and-D skill last year. He was shooting 35.7% from 3, and he's made plenty of shots in the minutes he's made, and you just need to take that game to the next level and be the co-star next to Keldon Johnson. OG Anunoby, I thought you were the next coming of, the Paul George, Jimmy Butler, Kawhi Leonard, two-way and two-way scoring and not defense threat, complete basketball player. But playing 91 of a possible 154 games over the last 2 seasons isn't the best thing. But we need more looks in isolations. Create for yourself and be more efficient and grow into an elite defender. You're a good defender. I go to KU. Udoka Azubuike was, might be a bust. And the thing is that he might not get his 4th-year option picked up, but he's going to get a chance to start. And he's never been a rotational player, but they're going into the season allegedly starting him. He's been marred by injury, but Azubuike's clearest path to regular NBA playing time is this season. Rudy Gobert is in front of him. His opportunity is now, and all he has to fight is Walker Kessler. And the good thing is he's yet to prove he can play in this league, and he'll have to do so. And I think he can. Bradley Beal, we just need to see that, look, Bradley Beal, can he go back to playing good defense? Can he go back to that 30-point a night? And can he lead a team to the playoffs? What are your thoughts down below, guys? That's it. Check out the article.